Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be filming a what I eat and do in an average day. Today is not a school day. My daughter has most of August off from school. So I'm waking up a little bit later than I usually would. It's past 6:30 now. The sun is starting to rise, halfway risen on this relatively not so cold Joburg winter day. I'm going to start the day, so I've already come outside trying to get some sunlight in the eyes. Nice way to wake up. And I'm going to put in my headphones and do about 20 minutes of meditation. So sometimes I start with meditation, sometimes I start with the exercise, but today we're going to start with meditation. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so that was about a 20-minute sort of body scan meditation that I was doing. You can do anything. Meditation is a very good idea to incorporate into your routines daily. You don't have to do it first thing in the morning, but whenever you choose to, 20 minutes meditation, really good idea if you can find a way to do it. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set up the camera over in the house. We'll do some push-ups and squats. Now, the last time I did this, a couple of months ago, I was doing about 100 a day, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, just in the morning. My new routine is total 400. So in the morning, it's 4 sets of 50 push-ups, 4 sets of 50 squats, so that's 200. Then usually in the afternoon, sometimes in the afternoon I'm doing something else, I'm playing tennis or I'm in the gym or something. But if I'm at home, it's another 200. So let's see how today goes. I don't think we're going to make it to the gym today, but let's at least start with a 200. So if you look at my form on this one, it's not really great. So I'm not going low enough on the push-ups and I'm not going low enough on the squats either. I think what's happened is that as I've increased the quantity, I've decreased the quality. So I'm going to try and improve on that, but just a reminder. And reminder that I do this like I'm doing sets of 50, so 4 sets of 50, and I'm changing my hand position, I'm changing my foot position on the squats, just to exercise slightly different muscles. So we're going to speed this up, and we'll see you on the other side of that. Okay, so that's 200 push-ups, 200 squats. I'm gonna make myself a glass of salt water, maybe with a bit of lemon. Do some work and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've got my morning little drink. So what I ended up doing was about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of salt, maybe half a teaspoon of salt, maybe less, quarter teaspoon of salt, into some hot water. Gonna have that while I post. Okay, so we are now at about 7:45 in the morning. I've done a little bit of work. I've had my little water drink. The big thing that's changed is that I've started taking breakfast again. Even on fasting days, so I've tried to change my fasting window. So maybe today I'm gonna eat by 8, it'll be ready. I'll probably fast, I don't know, let's see. I'm not even sure if today's going to end up being a fasting day because we have some guests coming over later. But if it's a fasting day, I'll probably stop eating by about 2 p.m., right? So 8 to 2, that's a 6-hour eating window. That's pretty much all I need. That's if I even take 2 meals. Sometimes the first meal is big enough. I don't need a second one. I'm still on a lamb kick, so still eating lamb pretty much every day. But I have learned I don't roast my leg of lamb anymore. Cut it up into thin strips. Semi-freeze your lamb. Your lamb leg, you can cut off really thin shavings, which makes really good kebab meat, what they call doner or shawarma, that kind of stuff, right? This has already been salted a little bit, not really much else in the way of seasoning. You don't need much oil because the lamb has its own fat, but I might use a little bit of this beef tallow just to sort of get it started. So beef tallow, and then I'm going to have one of these low-carb cauliflower wrap kind of things. Might put a little bit of yogurt in as a sauce. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take out a little bit of yogurt, grate a little bit of garlic in there, and then I'll also make an egg shake. It's going to be 4 or 5 eggs, a bit of cream, water, a little bit of glycine powder. So this is the glycine powder and maybe some vanilla. I will take a little bit of video as I'm making this. Okay, so to make the garlic sauce for my little shawarma, whatever we're calling it, I'm going to grate a clove of garlic into a bowl, and then I'm going to put some yogurt and a little bit of water. That's pretty much it. Okay, so this is what the garlic sauce looks like when it's done. So just garlic, yogurt, and water. I make it in something I can store it in because I'm probably not going to eat all of this, so we can use it then tomorrow. Now, for the egg shake, let's start making that. I'll start with filling this with about, I don't know, about 100 grams of water. Then into that we're going to put, let's say, 5 eggs for today. If you're not used to having raw eggs, I would recommend that you not start with this recipe. If you're not used to having raw eggs, I would strongly recommend you start only with the yolks. This is because the egg whites contain an anti-nutrient called avastin, I want to say. I might have that pronunciation a little bit wrong. Something like that. And actually, when it is taken together with the yolk, it's not such a big deal. There are nutrients in the yolk that sort of neutralize that. But it's a good reason not to have raw egg whites on their own, for sure. And again, if you're worried about your ability to digest raw eggs, we would always recommend to start with a raw yolk. That is going to be, in my opinion, it's probably one of the easiest foods for humans to digest. Okay, so into this we're going to add a little bit of whipping cream. This is the cream I use, but you can use anything. We're looking for something that is this kind of like double cream consistency. So not light cream, what they call heavy cream in the US, double cream in the UK. That's sort of what we're looking for here. Now a little bit of vanilla. There actually are not a small number of people, but it's not super huge either. A number of people who are allergic to vanilla. And for those folks, what we say, and you may want to do this even if you don't know that you have a vanilla allergy, is to test if you have symptoms that are persisting. You can get, this is vanilla extract, right? You can get the vanilla essence, which is artificial vanilla flavor. And see, if you're allergic to vanilla, you wouldn't be allergic to that. So that's one way to do it. And then I'm going to put about a spoon of this glycine powder. One small scoop. And we are just going to whip it all up, and that's the drink to have along with the breakfast. Oops. Okay, so sometimes I will have this as a wrap, like a burrito. Today I'm going to have it more like a roti, like Indian style, with your hands kind of thing. This is the shake. I'm going to finish this whole thing in the next 10 minutes or so. By the time I get eating, it'll be 8:20, which means the close of my fasting window at the latest is 2:20. If I'm fasting today, which I'm not so sure about. Another thing that I've sort of been experimenting with is the Tabasco sauce. I'm finding that I'm liking vinegar flavored things. So it's, and for those who are sort of new to this sort of hyper carnivore way of doing things, you have to do something pretty close to a pure meat diet for a period of time. You need to sort of get a reset. And then you can reintroduce food slowly. You can reintroduce dairy, reintroduce whatever you want in small amounts, and see what suits, what doesn't suit, right? So for me, all these foods that I'm testing, like some people will not be able to have Tabasco. It has, cayenne pepper, right? Red pepper. So it is a nightshade vegetable. So many people will react to that. And if you're one of the people who reacts to that, well, introduce it slowly. And if you have a reaction, then you know not to take that in the future. The way I cook the kebab is, if you can do it really thin, it's better because it'll just cook really, really quickly. This is not quite that thin, so it ends up being sort of like a I don't know how to describe. It's not exactly a rare steak texture because it's more fatty, but it's not really cooked on the inside. It's just seared on the outside. So that's what I like. And, you know, if you don't like it, if you like it more medium to well done, that's totally fine. It's better that we not stress about, you know, should I be eating my steaks rare, medium rare, whatever. Just eat the steaks. Eat the steaks how you like it. Eat the steaks in a way that you're going to have enough food, you're going to feel full. Don't worry about the rest. Cheers. Okay, so I've had my breakfast, I've done a bit of work. Now I'm going to go for a bath. So this is the same routine that I mentioned in the last video, whenever that was, March or April, I can't remember. Basically, it's contrast bathing. So you start as hot as you can manage. I start in the bathtub, then I'll finish in the shower with it on full cold. In the wintertime here in South Africa, it's actually pretty cold. I don't think it gets down to close to 0, but maybe 5-6 degrees. So that's pretty good. Again, this is just a variety of thoughts in like sauna and cold plunges and so on. I don't worry too much about that. I think about it more like we just want to give the body a little bit of a shot, get rid of some of the just the sort of stale energy, if I can put it that way. And there's nothing like the cold water to sort of shock the system a little bit. It's good for the cardiovascular system as well too, of course. It's going to get the blood flowing. Okay, so shower is done, bath is done. I'm now going to use this little thing, this micro needling thing. I mentioned this last time. My hair's been thinning a little bit and I see that we get good results. 3 ways I see good results. One is just sort of self-massaging, like doing a bit of massaging, which I'm not so regular about as I used to be. Second is putting some oil, coconut oil. That seems to work. I guess that's also a massage really, because you massage it in as you put the oil. And the third is this micro needling does seem to improve hair growth, improve the thickness and so on. So I'm going to do that for a couple minutes, take some sunlight. We're not really in vitamin D season here, and it's only, I think it's only about 9 o'clock, 9:15. Get some sunlight for what it's worth, and yeah, take it from there. So it's not really a lengthy process, just a couple minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna make a coffee in the morning, just a quick one this time. It'll be black for me. I'll show you the process here. Okay, so it is now about 1:45. I'm gonna have lunch, if you can call it that. This is some broth I made with basically some leftover steaks, basically the bones from T-bones. And yeah, I've got a mug full of this broth. I put a little bit of tamari sauce in it, microwave that, and yeah, have that first. See if I feel like having anything after that, I might have maybe a bowl of yogurt. Yeah. That is the plan for lunch. In addition to my broth, this is a sort of mug of broth. Also got a small bowl of some egg salad. So, don't know if you can see that. It's about 2 or 3 eggs. You can tell I put my Tabasco sauce on top of that. 2 or 3 eggs worth of egg salad. Homemade mayonnaise, which we made with avocado oil. Yeah, that is going to be lunch. I still might have some yogurt later on. Let's see. Okay, so I've decided not to have yogurt, at least for now. It's still an hour or so within my eating window, so I might have something. But I don't think so. I think that was actually fine. So I'm just going to sit in the sun for a few minutes. As I mentioned, it's still wintertime, but it looks like the sun is slightly above 45 degrees right now. So that means we can get some vitamin D, some UVB. Yeah, so I'm going to sit in the sun for 10-15 minutes and then get back to work. Okay, we are nearing the end of the day. It's about 4 o'clock. I have just been working, seeing clients, yeah, making videos, the usual kind of stuff. Doing a podcast interview went really well. That'll be on the channel soon with Lee from Kent Carnivore. Looking forward to posting that. Great discussion we had. It's about 4 o'clock. I'm back in my fasting window. I will have some coffee now, some black coffee. And I've had a glass of water as well, maybe 2 glasses of water. And yeah, that's about it in terms of food consumption. Don't think I'll be making it to the gym today, so I think probably around 5 or 5:30 I'll do another 200 push-ups and squats, and I'll take that video when I get the chance. So we are now at about 5:30. I got half an hour before my evening meetings, and I will do those push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups and squats that I was talking about. This is exactly the same as the first thing. You know, again, my form could use a little bit of improvement. Try and come down lower when you're doing these things. Better to do fewer quantity and more quality, to be honest. So since I recorded this a few days ago, since then I've been trying to work on my form and trying to improve. I'll video myself again and see if my form improves. Yeah, other than that, it's exactly the same as the first time.
Okay, so we are nearing bedtime. What I like to do if I have a bit of time, especially if it's been a long and exhausting day, as today has been, what I like to do is just take as much time as possible and do some meditation, some journaling, whatever else that may be, just to decompress from the day and to prepare myself for the next day. So today I think I'm going to put some red light on for 10 or 15 minutes, and yeah, maybe just do some guided meditations for the evenings, especially. Sometimes in the morning I'll just sit and do a body scan and not, have my meditation music in, or it won't be a guided meditation, it'll just be whatever. But in the evening, especially if you have all that sort of energy from the day, and you're not, for today it's been kind of a long and slightly exhausting day. I find that it helps to really have that meditation music or whatever it is, whatever you like to do for a guided meditation practice, that really helps. So I will do that. So I'm also using this fairly inexpensive, fairly small red light device. You can get these much bigger and much more expensive too. But based on my understanding of the literature, these small ones are probably fine. What are they helping? Helping all kinds of things. Helping keep insulin levels low, interestingly enough. But the more I look into this, the more I begin to understand that we're just, we're creatures of light, and trying to make sure that we get certain kinds of light at certain times of day is super important. So here we go, we'll turn on the red light, take off the glasses. You probably don't want this in your eyes, so keep those eyes closed, and yeah, we'll start the meditation.
So that was my day. That was what I eat and do on a typical day. Hope you enjoyed it. As you see, what are the focuses here? One focus is light. It's how we're ending. The other focus is food. Third focus is just movement, maybe some exercise. Didn't make it to the gym or the tennis courts on this day, but if you want to see the day when I made it to the tennis courts, check out my last What I Eat in a Day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.